Hello, welcome back to Sushi LiveNoding. In this episode, I'll be doing an improvisation using SVerchok nodes. So let's get started. It's pretty much, it's very simple. I'll be using a primitive. And primitive, we have regular solid, okay? So this single nodes has a lot of presets, which is actually can be overwhelming, but we could do something cool. Let's take a look what it looks like. So delete everything, and we have this tetrahedron, and we have lots of geometries here that we can play with. And I want to try something. Let's see. Let's use dual mesh. Or actually, it's already, some of them is already dual mesh. So let's see. Okay, this one is not yet dual mesh. I think it's triangulated, so we can turn it into dual mesh. Yeah, something like that. And basically, I want to be able to select areas, you know, like small areas, big areas, and I want to use component analyzer. So this is another nodes that's really quite powerful. There's a lot of options. You can actually select face by sites number, for example, or by areas. So it's easier by areas. Let's do that. So file, save as. So the nodes that I want to talk about is the analyzer. So we can get the areas of every polygon face, and we want to select the smaller one or the bigger one based on areas. So we can use logic. So make it, so this is the areas coming in, and we can check the areas is it smaller or larger than a certain value. At some point it's gonna flip, and we can use that value to get a mask. And I think we can have index to mask, something like that. Yeah. So polygon face coming in, and we have this mask, and we should have data if true and data if false, and we can try that very quickly. There you go. So this is if we want to quickly find an areas, and then we can do something more like using inset faces and use the mask. So the data coming in from this guy, we already have the mask. Actually, the mask needs to be coming from here. So indices if true, and data masking, and this length, get the number of face. Okay, 32, and this one will generate masking based on the total number of the face. So maybe slightly tricky, but not too bad. Actually, there's another way to do this, but I think this makes a lot of sense. So now we can control the depth and the thickness of this object, and we can use mesh viewer to get real object. Okay, so now we're gonna have some fun here. Save it. So we can flip the mask. And let's see, okay, we can select the big one or the smaller one. So this is like one example. There's a lot of different kind of regular solid, so we need to play around with this. So and also the different kind of extrusion you can do with it. There's actually a very interesting one somewhere. The one with all kind of different, slightly different areas is actually gonna make a very interesting result. So this is probably the one with similar areas. Let me try to find one. Okay, this one, see, we can have 1, 2, 3 different variations. Okay, this guy, for example. So you can do the extrusion selectively. So 1, 2, and all of them. 3. And you can invert the value. For example, like that. And I think you can do it twice or 3 times. Oh, okay. This might not work, but it seems to be working. Yeah, this one is pretty interesting. It looks a bit like some kind of ocean creatures. That's probably kind of accidental. I've done this earlier and I'm actually getting a different result and could be more interesting. So here I'm actually using extrude region and then a bit of inset special. It's all gonna give you all kind of results. So the thing with SVerchok is that it's really good at doing everything at the same time, like it's doing it for every component. So if you are trying to selectively extrude, then it's actually a little bit trickier. But if you select some components and then you do it for everything, and then you do another masking for every components, and you start to get interesting results that way. I'm gonna share with you this one. So I think so only scale works, the height doesn't work, because I believe we are using the same mask. Okay, so apparently you can play with in and out. Apparently I'm using an icosphere here in this case, because icosphere and the dual mesh give you a different result. Okay. So it seems to be okay. Yeah, this is like, it flips, right? Either you choose the inside or the outside, and you get a different result. So just by flipping this, like I'm holding Control Shift and scroll, we have all type of different geometries. And if you feel like you want to make your own, so you can use random vector and use convex hull. And you can get randomness. And also still you can use the masking, so you can extrude every face or just some of them based on this component analyzer for face area. Yeah, I think holding's slightly strange, but interesting to explore. I think it's more interesting if you are using inset faces or inset special, actually, because with inset special you can turn on and off the inner. Here, file, save as. Okay. Right. smooth. Yeah, it's a bit random, but I like these shapes. So sometimes you want it to be organic, but also it has some kind of structure. It's I don't know, something about human brain and their aesthetics about things. They like it to be structured, but also chaotic and organic. Until we kind of we kind of like that. But if you go back to the original, save. You just feel free to play around with this. You might get like geometry that looks really quite interesting and looks complicated. It's quite simple as we know it, thanks to the node. Alright, I like that. Looks like a bit like cactus, alien cactus, so maybe just call this alien cactus. Alien cactus. Alright, so thanks again for tuning in, and let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.